Valanciunas heads across to the Sacramento Kings. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and I'm just here, and I'm ready to hear from you. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Blue Sky, joshloyd.bsky.social, on Twitter at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Today's episode is brought to you by... Who's it brought to you by? I think it's brought to you by FanDuel. Super Bowl 59 is here, and you can go on, place a $5 bet, and if you win that $5 bet, you get $200 in bonus bets. So, go to FanDuel.com, download the app, get started. Also, check out LockedOnDaily.com. That is where you'll find the best newsletter for your favorite NBA team. I would do that, LockedOnDaily.com. You know what to do on this, you double bang. Go check out the live trade deadline show as well. We're going live here because I'm not doing a mailbag show tomorrow, so we're going to do a mailbag show today. And just as we were doing this, we got the news that there was a trade that did just go down. So we might as well just bring the details up for you guys on the screen if you haven't seen that yet. It is the Sacramento Kings. I actually didn't put all of the details on this, but the Sacramento Kings get Jonas Valanciunas. And then the Wizards get the newly acquired, as part of the De'Aaron Fox deal, CD Sissoko. He goes to the Wizards along with 2 second-round picks. So the Wizards have now dumped Kuzma. They've now dumped Valanciunas. And I guess their next one is going to be Malcolm Brogdon. So just keep an eye on that. We might as well just break down the details of this trade that went down now. And I see a lot of people trying to find the right guy that they think is going to bump up. Let me just get number one of this out of the way. There is almost zero. He was already not doing it, but there is no way you can have Jonas Valanciunas as a 12-team guy. Sorry.
Get that garbage out of here.
If you decide to play Sabonis and Valanciunas together, RIP, and Sabonis plays 37 minutes a game, 36 minutes a game, so that's 12 minutes for Valanciunas. He is there as insurance because their backup center was Trey Lyles or it was Alex Len. So he is way better than that, obviously, right? He is a solid scorer, but he's not playing 20 minutes a night. That's just not going to happen. So, no, we are dropping him in 10 and 12 and 14 team leagues. That's where we're at with that. The problem now is what happens in Washington. And I already see people here in the chat dropping their comments in or their thoughts in on who might be the right option here to have a crack at. But like Kyshawn George, but I don't really think Valanciunas moving does anything for George. Well, now it's time for Alex Sarr. Honestly, I don't think Alex Sarr was being held back by Jonas Valanciunas. Alex Sarr was being held back by being Alex Sarr. Right? Sarr is injured at the moment, but he played 28 most nights, and Valanciunas would get 18 or 19. I don't think it really changes much there. What I do think it does is, obviously, it means there is a new backup center. So, Marvin Bagley's still out. I don't think he plays. It could be Richaun Holmes. It would make zero sense for it to be Richaun Holmes for this very reason. Like, he's 30 years old. What's the point of him being there? They signed, and we said this in the offseason, they had a team option on Tristan Vukcevic. Okay? And then they declined it and signed him to a two-way and went, that's very weird. That's very weird. But what I said back in July when that happened, I said, my take on this and my information on this is that they signed him to a two-way and they told him, you will come in and you will be converted at the end of the season and you will play minutes down the stretch once guys are moved. We've already started to see it. He's already moved into a bit of a role, Vukcevic. And now I think that Tristan Vukcevic might be wrong. I think he is your backup center. Now, that doesn't mean that Tristan Vukcevic is a 12-team ad. He's not. He's just a deeper league guy. But I believe he will play over Anthony Gill and over Richaun Holmes. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue there. And I think that if Sarr misses, then Vukcevic will be an option. And there is an outside shot that Vukcevic and Sarr can play together. Remember, Kuzma's gone. He was playing at the 4 a lot. You got Champagny, he's more of a 3. You got Kyshawn George, he's more of a 3. Sissoko's a 3. AJ Johnson's like a 2, 3, 1. So we keep a very close eye on Vukcevic here, but I don't know what more. Yeah, I don't think there's much 12-team league stuff to look at. All right. Let's bring some questions in from you guys. Like Manila's most wanted, Alex Side of the Moon. Again, I don't think it changes anything for him. He was already there. He was already getting minutes. I don't really get it. I don't think much changes. I don't think Valanciunas was holding him back, honestly. I don't think that was a thing. Is Carrington a 12-teamer? No, not really. I don't think there's a starting spot necessarily open, but he's had opportunities at 30 minutes a night all season, and he's been bad at it. So no, I wouldn't add Bub. I don't think I'd add Kyshawn. I think these guys are going to be bad enough that it might be a situation like the Nets with Keon Johnson and Zaire Williams and Jalen Wilson and just random blokes who have good games and bad games versus anyone locking in with strong value. I don't think that's going to be a thing that happens, to be honest. But we're always there's always chances of this stuff being wrong, and with these teams that are cracking like this, there is some weird stuff that can happen, obviously. If Kyshawn George looking like a stash again in Dynasty, these questions, Daniel, are always confusing to me because if you're in a Dynasty league, why is Kyshawn George, a man who's starting, sitting on the waiver wire? That, to me, and I know this is pedanticism, that's not a Dynasty league. It's a redraft league with bad settings that enable you to hold a guy year to year. Because all those sort of leagues do where players who are playing 20 minutes a night, 25 minutes a night already as rookies are on the waiver wire, it means it increases the incentive for teams to tank and to be bad and to hold these guys when there's obviously not enough roster spots for it, meaning the league becomes completely unbalanced. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I look, there'll be teams that go, I'm going for it, and they'll go, I'm not, so I've got to hold these guys who are going to do nothing in this scenario. So I don't really get it, but sure, like, yep, let's do it. Is Kelly Olynyk worth using it's you again, Daniel, a precious move this week rather than rationing? In 10-team, no, I wouldn't bother with Kelly Olynyk in a 10-team league. In a 14-team, yeah, I would. 12, it's debatable. There's no real timeline on Pirtle at this point. But also, remember, there's no guarantee that Kelly Olynyk plays out the stretch here. He can get hurt at any point. He's a million years old. I don't mind an add on him, though. He's very borderline to me as to whether I would add him. It's close. All right. Let's have a look. What else should we do here? Wizard owners don't know what the hell they're doing. Why? What? Not sure how you get that out of this, but anyway. I added Champagny and Buzelis, good moves. Well, one of them is, yeah. Adding Buzelis is a good move. Champagny still doesn't have a 30-minute a night role. He's not a high-level prospect. He's fine. Don't love that. Don't love the Champagny one if you're talking 12-teamers, obviously. Is Keegan Murray's value impacted by Levine or Valanciunas trades? It's a good question. The Levine trade, think of it this way. Levine in, Fox out. That's really pretty neutral, yes? The only thing it really does, I think, is it means that Malik Monk and his assist numbers go up. But otherwise, it's the same guy, the same usage stuff. The Valanciunas trade, does it impact Murray? No, because honestly, I don't think that Sabonis and Valanciunas can play together. I don't see how that could possibly happen. All it means is if Murray's playing alongside Valanciunas, then yeah, his usage goes down a little bit. But honestly, it's not a big difference. There's someone that just said, is Valanciunas an ad after this trade? What world are we living in here? What are we talking about? No, absolutely, of course not. What? That is, wow, okay. No, absolutely not. I know people are asking, okay, if you're in the live chat here and you want to see, like, I know people have been following me trying to get a watch for my birthday, and I got one. I'm wearing it now. If you want to see the watch, if you want me to give it a close-up, I'm not sure how well it will come up on camera, drop it in the chat, and then maybe we'll have a look after we come back here. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by Prize Picks. Basketball season is obviously heating up. Stuff is going down left, right, and center. And there's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members and billions in awarded winnings. Prize Picks makes it easy and fun to turn your sports knowledge into real money. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections. You can win up to 1,000 times your cash. And this week, Super Bowl week, they've got an easy one for you, a free pick. Patrick Mahomes only needs to throw 1 yard and you win. So that's easy. You got that in. All you need then is one other one to win and you can cash out. Check out also all the promos over on their site, plus the Taco Tuesday promo. That's an example. It gives you discounted player projections for even more value. Download the app today or use the code LOCKEDON and use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That is Locked On NBA. For $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Price Picks, run your game. the chat is going at a million miles out, and I'm just seeing some questions come up, and I missed it to be able to put it on the stream. But like the idea that people have these different valuations, it's great for us in fantasy leagues. But someone said, "Hey, should I stash Gary Trent in case he's traded?" It's Gary Trent. Do you know how bad he is? All right, there's just a lot going on in this chat. So what? Okay, you want the 50th millionth explanation of what Kyshawn Wallace is a Hong Kong mattress? When he was drafted, there was a pronunciation guide that came out and said his name's actually pronounced Kyshawn. There is a famous song in Australia called Kyshawn, and one of the lines in Kyshawn is about a Hong Kong mattress. So therefore, and then his name went back to being Kaysen, and therefore now he's called the Hong Kong mattress from the line in Kyshawn, the song, which was a mispronunciation of Kyshawn Wallace's first name. All right, watches. All right, let's see. I don't know how it's going to look, but there you go. I don't know if you can, because it just gets a bit blurry with the settings I've got on the camera. All right, so you can see it's a Rolex Date Just. It's very shiny. I'm not used to that much sort of shininess. There you go. You might not be able to see it very well. Is Vukcevic getting traded? I don't know. Nobody knows. And if I sat here and told you that I knew, I'd be lying. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. It is possible, but I don't know. Flash the wristy, Gibbo. That's OnlyFans, my guy. Do I think Hartenstein's value goes down with Daniel Tice trade? No, absolutely not. No. Chet coming back? Sure. Tice arriving? No. We have to really understand the hierarchy of players. Daniel Tice arriving does nothing to Hartenstein. Jonas Valanciunas going to Sacramento does nothing to Domantas Sabonis. Nothing. That's all it is. Let's have a look. What else we got here? Is Jamal Murray and Hartenstein cartel industry? I'll tell you this. I don't know. And the reason I don't know is I have no idea. You say points league. What's your points league? Nobody knows. This is where points league trades become incredibly difficult to assess. You've got the information, mate. Have a look. How many points is Jamal Murray averaging for the season, for the last 2 weeks, for the last month? Same as Bam, same as Steph, same as Hartenstein. Understand that Hartenstein's going to come down a little bit and then figure it out from there. But in the end, what's the point? What's the point of that sort of a trade? What are you getting out of it? Who would I trade Lowry, Markkanen for? Anybody who is a top 100 player. Literally anybody. Is Nurkic still good? No. Is he average? I would say yes. But he's not. He was actually quite good last season. His impact this season has dropped a lot. But no. I saw a crazy question about Jacoby Walter being a top 70 player. Doing what? Yeah, no, absolutely not. I talked about AJ Johnson in an earlier show, the quest person who asked that when we broke out that trade. Khalil Ware, Rookie of the Year? Maybe. I think they're probably going to end up giving it to Castle, to be honest, but maybe. Please address Carlo Makovic. I did. Literal whole show on it earlier today. Just finished. Carlo Makovic is interesting. I would add him in deep leagues. I think there's a chance he becomes a 12-team league player. He is, at the moment, the backup center. Last game, they played him and Misi next to each other, which was very intriguing. If you wanted to stash somebody, I get it. I actually think there is a chance he could roll 27 minutes a night at some point. It's very much not there yet, though. It's not there yet. What are my thoughts on Alvarado? Will he retake the starter job? I thought he would have started last game, but they lent into CJ McCollum with Javonte Green there. If I do have Alvarado, I would hold just to see what's going on and see what they decide to do. But now he's also ill for today. So there's not even, I'm just going to check the status on that if that's been updated at all. But he might not even play today. So I would say that it's not the highest priority at this stage to add, but if you've got him, you hold. That's how I would look at it. All right. Drop Jimmy Butler if he ain't traded? Not yet. Just wait to see what they say. Because you'll get clarification, especially through the All-Star break, that Pat Riley or the Heat will come out and say, Jimmy Butler will be away from the team for the rest of the season, or they say he's coming back. So I would wait on that. Thoughts on Cam Johnson? Was drafted by the Suns, plays for the Nets. There you go. There's my thoughts. All right. Is AJ a sleeper on the Wizards? Yes, but it's not one that you need to necessarily get out and grab. But I could see the problem there is that the bub exists and Poole is there, and he's a better option than Johnny Davis, though, for example. It's a deeper league stuff. Okay. Will Missy be more relevant? I don't think the absence of Tice has any impact on Eve Missy. It's one of those ones where Missy wasn't being limited because Tice was there. Not an impact. So I don't think it matters at all. I know it's very easy to have these ideas, right? Of like someone or the backup's gone, so then when the starter does more. But in nearly every one of these cases, the backup wasn't impacting the starter at all. Wasn't having any impact on it, I don't think, in any way. Is Sexton a drop in ESPN points? Sasha, I think, look, there's no point dropping him right now. What's the point, right? Wait to see what happens and what breaks free at the deadline. But he's out for at least a week with the ankle. I would like to hold, but it is the Jazz, right? An ankle sprain that they said 1 week I don't think it's going to be a month-long absence or 2-month-long absence. So I'd probably try to hold, but there's absolutely no reason to drop him right now because stuff hasn't broken free. Yeah, I believe Buzelis is someone to grab, yes. Dave says that I consider other brands like Omega. Yes, I wanted to see if I could get a Rolex, and I did. And Omega is my second choice. And if I do decide to get another watch, I'd probably get a leather band watch, and I would get an Omega. But that would be my second option, yes. Do I think Steven Adams is good enough to start for a different team? Yes, I do. His health was obviously the concern for 2 years, but he's looked pretty good. I think they've worked him back very well, and they've taken care of his body. Yes, I do think he's good enough to start. Hudge-Fino background for us. Is he a good prospect? He's a guy that I didn't really like coming into the draft. He's a tall point guard who can't really shoot. He's been horrific in his 5 minutes in the NBA. He hasn't put up good G League numbers. He is way worse than Isaiah Collier and Keontae George. He's just been terrible. Honestly, he's just been bad. All right, there is just so much going on the live here. If you are here on the live, make sure you are checking out the live Trade Deadline show tomorrow, but also hitting thumbs up on this video too. The chat is going crazy. It is great. I love it. What's with the Warriors players' minutes? Igor Meat. What's with their minutes? Steve Kerr is just moving them around. That's just what's happening. As my wife comes into the studio. Hello, very nice. You're looking very good today. It's a very good morning. Yes. Hello. Oh, okay. You go off to do your work. Bring in the monies. Anyway, cool. Is Amen Thompson top 10 dynasty points league asset? Yes. Yes, he is. Very clearly. Is Jalen Smith getting 30 minutes after the Vooch trade if he's traded? No idea. Absolutely no idea. They do have Zach Collins. I would think that Jalen probably gets 27, but that's enough. Seems like he's made of glass. Okay. Fine blown Murano glass or bulletproof glass? He's a big man. They get hurt. Nothing about him suggests I'm worried about his hurt necessarily. Can Dillingham take over from Conley? He is an undersized rookie point guard, and they are bad. So I would say almost definitely not. Remember, I want everybody to have this idea, right, about this draft class. This is a terrible draft. So I know that these guys are rookies and we like the excitement of it. It is a terrible draft. And even though Dillingham was traded up for a pick 8, he would be like the 15th best player, 15th pick in most drafts. He'd go at like 20. Jacoby Walter was at 19. He'd be like at the 40th pick in a lot of drafts. This draft is terrible. Is Jeremy Grant must roster? He is not. I don't think anyway. There's a lot going on here. We'll do a couple more before we come back and... Nathaniel Correa, any Warriors centers worth an ad? No, not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't add Post. I wouldn't add Looney, Jackson Davis, absolutely not. Be very careful about rumors that are coming out as well. Be careful. Like yesterday, everyone was frothing this Kevin Durant thing. It's not happening, apparently. And the other thing is about Matas Buzelis, and I'll cover this off. We talked about it yesterday. People are like, oh man, what if Vooch gets traded? I don't think it has any impact. Honestly, I don't think Vooch being traded has any impact on Buzelis, because you know what Buzelis isn't? A center. He plays the 4, he can play a little bit at the 3, there's some maybe small ball minutes, but Vooch doesn't impact him really in any real way. Vooch is a usage center, so to speak, because a lot of centers are like 16 usage guys, but he's not Joel Embiid, he's not 28 usage, he's like 22. And his minutes, Vooch, I don't think they're taken by Buzelis. I don't think that's a thing. So if you're adding Matas Buzelis, I don't think it's got anything to do with waiting on Vooch and waiting on these rumors. Who's my rookie of the year so far? Off the top of my head, I don't know. You know what? I'd have to look through it and look through the numbers. I don't like to give these things, so I haven't really thought about it. I actually forgot that KJ Martin got traded to Detroit. I've done all these shows on trades today. KJ Martin to Detroit. Do I think he has relevance? No, I don't. Tobias Harris is their starting power forward. Asar Thompson plays power forward as well. They drafted Bobby Klintman. There is Simone Fontecchio. No, look, he might play like 12 minutes a night, 14 minutes a night. No, absolutely no way. MB, the Padres making the playoffs. I have faith, MB. I hope so. Going to 4 games. 4 Padres games we're going to. Went to 1 at Petco last season. We're going over for another 4 this year. So I hope. Got some games against the Rangers and the Diamondbacks that we're going to. So I hope we make it. Bilal or Sarr rest of season? It's a good question, Jeffrey. I would go with Bilal. I would go with Bilal, yeah. Dwight Howard to the Lakers. Well, I guess if they're tanking, maybe, yeah. Maybe. Sounds good. Someone said that I'm answering questions on Basketball Monster while I'm doing this live. I am. That is true. I'm trying to do all these things together. The one I love the most... Which one's this? You don't understand the background for Barnesy. Matt, come on, man. How many times have we done this one? So, the pencil. Harrison Barnes. His nickname. HB. The most common type of pencil in the world, everywhere apart from the United States. Because, you know, you guys like to do everything as different as possible. Is an HB pencil. So, pencil HB. The Barnesy song is a song called Big Enough, the Screaming Cowboy meme. The Screaming Cowboy is an Australian singer called Jimmy Barnes, who goes by the nickname Barnesy, who's also, interestingly enough, the singer of the band Kyshawn, who has the Hong Kong Mattress song Through to Case and Wallace. There you go. With Tari said to miss back-to-backs, we can't hold in shallow leagues, can we? They said back-to-backs this week, no guarantee about long-term. I would, and they've got like another 2 or 3 back-to-backs coming up in really short time, I would try to hold. If you get into the playoffs and it's still the scenario, then you make that call. At the moment, you hold, I think. You hold. Just doing constant check-ins to make sure we don't have anything weird going on with trades or anything like that. Get more of your questions in. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Super Bowl 59 is here. 1 game, 2 teams. Endless possibilities, and there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Predict the first touchdown, call the MVP, even betting on the coin toss. FanDuel makes it easy to get in on the action with live betting all game long. You can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. The live betting feature makes it great during the game, and plus, if you bet $5, win that $5 bet as a new customer, you can get $200 in bonus bets, and you can use that to glaze the cake. Is that the right word? In the Super Bowl. Anyway, download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. Just bet $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That is FanDuel.com, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. All right. Let's, what else have we got here? Is there a chance for Middleton to be as useful as Olynyk was in Houston 3 years ago? It is a possible, right? It is a possible. It is a possible. No. It is possible that these things can happen. It would seem incredibly unlikely to me that the Wizards go, right, JV gone, Kuzma gone. Middleton, we're going to let you cook 35 a night, let's go. Seems really unlikely. Oh yeah, by the way, your body's rooted, so can you do that for us? It is possible, right? It is possible, right? I've lost my mind here. This is what happens in the live environment. It is possible. It seems incredibly unlikely. Incredibly unlikely. Do I still value Reaves over Poole with the recent Luka trade? That's a good question because I don't know that I ever did. But anyway, the conflicting things is Reaves loses value. He probably loses 40, 50 spots of value. The problem with Poole is I just don't know if he's going to be playing through in March. So I would say they're probably pretty close. Pretty close. Did Doncic's value go down or up? Do Lakers having a high... Honestly, Michael, it doesn't matter. The only reason that I'll tell you that it went up is because instead of having a 2-game week in the playoffs, he has a 4-game week. But Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. He's going to be fine. The numbers of whatever, they're there. And what are you going to do if you have him? You're not adding him off the wire. Are you trading for him? Are you trading away? No, nothing. Don't worry about that stuff. It doesn't mean anything. The only benefit there is that he plays 4 games instead of 2 games in that week. Let's have a look at what else is going on. Don't drop trades in the chat if because you're wishing it to happen. If it doesn't happen, just shut up. All right? No need to do it. Let's have a look. Should you pick up Asar Thompson in the ESPN 12-team points league? I don't know, man. Look, have a look. What are the points that he's averaging? What are the points of the other guys on the waiver wire? What are the points of the worst player on your team? Points league decisions like this are relatively simple. Let's give examples. Asar Thompson averages 30 ESPN fantasy points. I don't know. I'm making that up. The other guys on the waiver wire average 28 fantasy points. Your worst player averages 28 fantasy points, right? Let's say that's what it is. That adding Asar Thompson doesn't make any sense. Sure, he averages 2 more points. But using that roster spot, if you've got a 28 guy already and there are other 28s on the waiver wire, using that spot, instead of getting 3.8 games per week on average, you can get 5.5, 5.7. And that 2-point difference gets eliminated. Now, if Asar averages 30 and the guy on your team averages 20 and the other waiver wire guys average 20, then the 30 makes more sense. These are all how these things work. Is Matas only worth an add in points league? No. He leads the Bulls in blocks. He's hitting threes. He is an add in all leagues, I believe. Everyone's frothing the questions because I only do it once a week. Yeah, that's true, Yuri. But I'm going to be here tomorrow as well. But even the mailbags don't go as hard as this one. Josh's face doesn't change while dancing. Yeah, because I'm dispassionately feeling the vibes. What do you want me to do? Anyway, this is one of the weirdest shows. Why didn't you give us a heads up Nick Richards was trash? David, I think you've broken me. I think I'm broken. I wish I could swear. What are you talking about? I hope that's sarcasm. Far out. Yeah. Is Craig Porter a pickup if traded in deep leagues? You know what, Ruffy? Do something better with your life. No, I'm trying not to be mean. I'm trying to be funny. Craig Porter's a player I like. But sitting here wondering about hypothetical Craig Porter trades, there's better ways to use your energy. Could he be better value somewhere else? Sure. Could he be worse value somewhere else? Sure. Could he be the same value somewhere else? Sure. Could every possibility be open to you? Yes. Okay, let's go through. Is Barnes a shutdown risk? I assume you mean Scotty. Yeah, I think so. I do think that there will be him missing at least the last 2 weeks of the season. Michael said he's asking about Doncic because he made a trade. Well, you've already done it, mate. It's done. The trade is done. Don't worry about it. Is Vit an ad again? Let's have a look. I don't think I would burn an ad right at the moment on Krejci, but his last game was good, right? So I think he's going to be back in the mix. I think he's going to be back in the mix. Do I have a Durant rankings update? Interesting things you noticed this year. I haven't. Yeah, they're up on Basketball Monster all the time, right? And it'll be something I again look at over the offseason. I'm pretty happy with the way the formula looks on it. And I think it'll be something that I want to get integrated a little bit more. I think it works. I think that the valuations of players work. I think it's useful. It's not. I think it works well. I think it's working well, and it's got to be something that I do incorporate a little bit more into my analysis. Mark Kevin Javelana, if you don't stop talking about my beard, you're getting Ricardo'd. You're getting banned. Why do you want to see my face? Do you want to sit on it? Stop it. Where's Obi? He's downstairs with my missus. All right. Is Jabari Smith going to be a starter? I would think that his ability to shoot and protect the rim, they really like that in Houston. It is going to be hard, obviously, to move Men Thompson to the bench. That will be hard. But I would put it at a 50-50 shot that's the direction they go. Kyshawn George pick up. Luka, I don't think so, man. Maybe, but his fantasy game is pretty empty. He's shooting horribly. Kuzma being out helps his minutes, but we've also seen him play 30 minutes a night many times already. And it's been very mid. It's not one where I'm super excited about it, honestly. Why don't I save a what? Why don't you save a video for your sponsors so you can just play and rest as the play? Because I like to make the videos not boring. Like to make because the sponsors obviously pay and make me able to do this show and live my life. So I want people to necessarily always skip through them. I want to make them funny. I want to make them vibrant. I want to make it real. I want you guys to be like, this guy's an idiot as we do the ads. Yeah. Max Christie league winner. I don't think so. But anyway, would you trade Bronny James for Embiid? No, Sebastian, I wouldn't. Because I know you're asking a stupid question. I didn't mean to click on your question, but that's okay. If Jimmy Butler comes back, is Ware a drop? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. How much of a shutdown risk is Jordan Poole? He's 4 shutdowns out of 7. These sort of questions, it's always hard to know. And I know it's an easy knee-jerk reaction. But people will go, well, how bad was the injury? I don't know. Like, how much of a risk? Some of a risk. Nothing is guaranteed. And you would put this, Jordan Poole didn't get shut down last season, doesn't mean he won't this season. And remember, usually the shutdowns occur the final 2 weeks of the season. And if all of you guys have made the correct decisions in your leagues are over. Very rarely do players get shut down and it impacts the good fantasy leagues. There was a couple with Larry Markkinen last season, the Ides of March, Jeremy Grant, and LaMelo Ball. That's really about it last season. There's not that many if your league is set up correctly. Mitch Rob to the Lakers makes sense. Yeah, but Mitch Robinson can't play. He's injured. So sure, it makes sense, but like, what are they giving up? Why would the Knicks do this? It makes sense if you're a Lakers fan, because you go, I'll just have him for free, yeah? But why? Why would the Knicks do that? What are the Lakers giving up? Chiefs or Eagles? Alex, I don't want it to be the Chiefs. I'll say that much. What else do we get here? Paul George, questionable. Drummond, out. Okay, that doesn't help us for fantasy, does it? All right, what else have we got? Just going through this. We're still going on this. Absolute sleeper picks for next year. No way, bro. It's just way too early. Like, there might be 100 players change teams in the offseason, plus 60 rookies. The reason I tell you that I think Quickley is going to be valued is because I just see everyone hating on him left, right, and center. And people are going to be not, much like with Jordan Poole this season. Right? That's the only reason. But, like, it's impossible to know, man. Is Reaves outside of top 75? Yeah, I think so, Michael. How do we assess Suggs' injury? Is he a drop? Again, there's no point dropping today. What's the point? Because what are you doing? To add, like, who? If I say, like, hold your moves, that also means there's no point dropping someone, correct? So the question's going to be what happens tomorrow. Now, it's really frustrating here with Suggs, and I do worry that he's going to be dealing with some of these problems with his body long term. If you're in a shallow format and it's a points league, I consider that maybe we do that. In a 12, I think it's going to be hard to find someone better than Jalen Suggs. Mark Williams was not, Mark Williams was shut down in December. The correct answer is Mark Williams was injured in December, right? So people get this idea of shutdown. Like, you know what a shutdown is? It's a fake injury, Jeremy Grant, where the team say, just don't play anymore, we'll get our young guys in. If someone gets hurt, look, even LaMelo Ball, I was debating on that one. He sprained his ankle. He probably could have come back, right? But Mark Williams got hurt. He didn't get shut down. They didn't say, just don't play, bro. He got hurt. That's what happens. Sadiq Bey got hurt, right? He didn't play. That's not getting shut down. When people say shut down or talk about shutdown risk, they're talking about fake injuries or the tiniest small injury that they would play through if they were battling for a playoff spot, which is not what Mark Williams' situation was. Is Jalen Smith still worth a pickup if Vooch is not traded? Nope. There'll be times, I guess, that Vooch is hurt, and they might actually start to sit him at the end of March, in April as well. But that's not worth holding on. Bogdan from Atlanta, do we hold until after the deadline? I don't know why you would. You shouldn't be holding him now. He should have been dropped weeks ago, honestly. But if you've got him now, again, absolutely no point in dropping someone today. So we figure out what happens and where he goes. Is Jordan Hawkins and that? Not really. He's an incredibly empty player who I think is actually worse than BJ Boston. And like, no, he's not starting. No. I don't think I'd bother with that. All right. Is a man still a top 50 guy in points leagues if he comes off the bench? Bench or starting, it doesn't matter that much. It's about how the minutes go. I would suggest probably not, but it would be close. Be close. Okay. Did I learn to save my ads at the deadline the hard way playing fantasy? No, I don't think so. I think it's just relatively common sense. No, I don't think I learned that lesson. I know the lesson, but I didn't learn it the hard way. What are my thoughts on Trey Jackson Davis getting a DMP? Is he worth dropping or stashing in the 16 tier, mate? Anything shallower than 16, there's no point holding on to him. Again, he's not that good, right? He is fine. I think people get this idea, this is great player, this great prospect. What are the Warriors doing? He's not. He's a 24-year-old, 57th overall draft pick who is fine, but very limited. In a 16-teamer, though, it's all going to depend, like, what other options have you got out there? Like, for example, if Carlo Makovic is available in a 16-team league, I would probably switch it out. Because I feel good that Makovic is going to get backup minutes and might play 25. I'd feel good about that. But it would depend on who I'm dropping. So I saw someone, I don't have the question here, but I saw someone say, is GG Jackson a standard league ad? Fuck, absolutely not. What? No, not even close. Monopoly Go, why don't I play anymore? I don't know what happened. I was playing it a lot, and then I just stopped playing it. Don't know why. Not sure. How many people have we actually got here in this live? Ooh, it's good numbers. Good numbers. If you guys want to hit the thumbs, drop your comments. Let's keep going. I don't know how much longer we'll go here, because I do have some other stuff I've got to do. I've got to take the dog for a walk. Oh, there he is. I can hear him outside chewing. He probably heard me say that now. He's going to be annoyed. Is Sarah stash in 12 teams? Yeah, now that is one. Alex Sarah, if he's on your wire, I would use a waiver ad at this point to add him. I probably would have been holding him anyway. But yeah, I would hold Alex Sarah in that spot. Is Trey Young someone to stay away from the future drafts with the kid? Nah, absolutely not, Galahad. Do not worry about it. Do not let it impact anything. It's bothering him. Yeah, you know how Achilles tendonitis gets better? Rest. So he'll just rest in the offseason. He'll be fine. I would not worry about that for a single second. What else we got? Zion or Jar rest of season? I only say Morant because I have a little bit more faith in less shenanigans. But, man, it's tough. They've both been so disappointing. Do I wear Crocs? I do have Crocs. Now, normally my, shoes that I wear when I go outside, I wear Yeezy slides, but I've got two pairs of Salahi Bembry Crocs collabs. I've got the orange pair and a blue pair, and also I got a black pair too. But I think Ben's got those. Because we have the same size feet, of course we do. So yeah, they're the only Crocs I have. Sabonis to sell high based on what? Peter, are you related to Tony? Mockbell? Sabonis to sell high, based on what? I'm assuming you're basing that on you think Jonas Valanciunas is going to impact him, and I think you're wrong. So, no, not really. Not really. Do King starters minutes drop if any more rotation players come? That's possible, Martinez. That sounds like a Lithuanian name. Is it? Big Sabonis guy? It's possible. But also remember, Valanciunas, way worse. Way worse than Sabonis. And that's the only other rotation player that's arrived, isn't it? So I guess possibly, but not sure. I wouldn't be banking on it, honestly. Can I give you some info on Makovic? He's 6'10", power forward center. Can protect the rim a little bit. Not a bad rebounder. Has got some shooting skills. He's 23, second round pick from 2 years ago. He's that sort of I'll say bigger than Nikola Mirotic. No, because he's a rim protector. Mirotic wasn't that. He's not Valanciunas because he's a different sort of player. He's I'm trying to think. He's like a shot blocking sort of 3-point shooting big man. And that's great for fantasy if it works. What else have we got in terms of any news? Nothing else. Okay. All right, we might be... is Luke Travers a big name in Australia? I could walk down the street and ask 50 people who he is, and one person might know who it is. Shout out to his mustache. Okay. Peter, you asked a question that many people always criticize me for. My thing is, who could possibly be on the wire if I'm going to save my acquisitions? Well, we'll find out, won't we? There is 0 point in wasting your acquisitions to stream in for Monday or Tuesday. It's pointless. I don't know what's going to happen at the deadline. I've got no idea. But you know what also happens? Is that stream value you think you got on Monday or Tuesday, well, there's going to be like 50 more stream options on Thursday, Friday, Saturday as the traded players change teams and they're not available. So you get random one-game pop-off scrubs. So there is absolutely no downside in saving your moves. Like if something you want, like much as Buzelis, who should have been added probably last week, like grab him. Yeah, that's an easy grab. But like trying to get, I'm going to stream in like Tim Hardaway and get some threes today, that's ridiculously useless. It's in all likelihood, you're not going to use all your ads tomorrow. You won't. But having them, like you might make an ad and grab someone and then that player gets on-traded or someone gets traded in over him, well then you can drop that guy and add the next guy because you've got the extra moves. There's no downside to this. And even if you don't use them, that is still not a downside. I think we have to understand the opportunity of it. That is not a downside. There is no downside to this. JV is starting alongside Domas. I don't think so. Is he? That would be... You say that as if you've got inside sources, which I'm certain you don't. So you think that is happening, Demir, and I would say you are incredibly incorrect. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Trent, no. It could be the third string center in Washington, Rashawn Holmes. I wouldn't bother adding him. Aaron, why would I brush my teeth with hot water? Do I look like a freak to you? I mean, yeah, yes, I probably do. Is Moses Moody an ad, assuming Golden State grabs a star? Well, A, Moody's out today. B, them adding a star, how would that make things better for Moody? So no. He's one of those ones that we just need to see where everything sort of falls in. Using my playoff date recommendations, the team's still at risk of shutting players down early March. They usually don't until about the 20th of March, usually, right? So most of the time we can be okay apart from one or two isolated incidents. That's why I set the dates that way. Is Justin Champagne an ad in 12-team? Look, I don't think so. Look, maybe. I don't mind it. But I'm also not like, wow, they're just going to plow him with 30 minutes now. Ply is the word, not plow. I don't think so, Ethereal. I talked about that earlier on. Let's go. We got a couple more. No, I think we might get out of here. I think I need to go. Yep. Good point, Luca. I will go because I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's looking for that. All right. Let's head out. Thanks for being a part of the show, everyone. Thanks for being a part of this live. I hope we're all good. I hope everyone's having a fine time. I hope we're excited about trade deadline and the opportunities that arise. Understand, there might not be anybody who is useful to pick up, but having the optionality to do it and then stream in guys Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is where it's at. Cool? Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.